Okay. Hey, what's happening, all my Dragonlings? I am D.Dragon, got a gaming Dragon, and welcome to a game review. Today, we are going to be reviewing Mario Kart Super Circuit. Now, I have already done a little bit of research on my own on the game, so we're just going to go in and have a lot of fun. First off, the first thing you got to notice is that this is not something good for like the Game Boy SP. Just look at the graphics. Like they do not pop out like normal characters. Like everything's all pixelated and everything. It does not feel right. And that's not good. Like I can understand like you have a certain amount of characters and stuff, like I can understand that. But when literally every one of your characters looks so pixelated that you can barely like make out what they are or who they are or if they're an actual person, that's actually not that good. This came out in 2002, but this isn't a retroactively bad game. I can understand like the graphics limitations for like the Game Boy. I can understand that, but this is not good. So first off, let's go ahead and get into an actual match, so you can see some of the stuff I mean. First off, let's go into a basic map, Mario Circuit. Why not? First thing you can know is that it feels like racing on the original NES with Super Mario Kart, and I mean they could have done anything. But they decided to make it like this. I mean, like, I understand that 3D wasn't cheap and you couldn't get too much 3D at this time, but you know, everything could have been, you know, graphically enhanced if they wanted to. And apparently they did not want to. Because for fuck's sake, this isn't good. Like, look at the graphics. They are so, like, not okay. Like, this is not okay. Like, okay, I can understand, again, limitations on the hardware, but to the point where, like, you have to go back to SNES graphics or NES graphics. No, that is not okay. Like, nothing about that screams okay. It doesn't feel right. I mean, they could have done anything better. They could have made these tracks a little bit more better. They could have put a little bit more time into each place. First, let's go to a level that's synonymous. Bowser's Castle. Like, I feel like this could have been done a lot more better. For the time. Again, for the time. They could have put in a little more effort. But what I feel like is that they kind of got a little lazy. Like, what is everyone supposed to do? This doesn't feel okay. Everything is so, like, just unmemorable. Like, for what they could have achieved, this could have been done amazingly if they were truly, like, you know, going for, you know, a try. Are you oh god, the cheapness. Like, you guys are seeing what I'm seeing. How is this okay? It's fucking not. Like, everything can be super fucking cheap if they wished. And they have so many options when it comes to this. So why make this like so retro feeling for something like this? No, again, this is supposed to be 2002. Like, by this point, like, you know, look at stuff like, okay, let's take into account The Legend of Zelda, Link to the Past. Why does that thing have better graphics than a Mario game? I understand that's one of their most beloved IPs, but for fuck's sake, put a little bit of effort. Any sort of effort. And this would have looked a little more better. But no, they had to make it so error non-fun that it just has no feel to it. Everything feels so fucking forced. It feels like they tried to rush this game out. Like, okay, I can see that. It's like 4, 8, 12, 16, 20. 8 to 12. Yep, 20. 20 tracks. You couldn't have tried a little harder on each? Personally, I would think you would be able to. Especially if you're fucking Nintendo. Like, at the time, Nintendo was one of the biggest companies in the world. You couldn't try a little bit harder on one of your maps. Like, take a look again at The Legend of Zelda, that I'm just going to keep on bringing it back to, because literally that's something that came out around the same time as this. Why does that look so much more better and so much more friendly? Like, take some of those graphics and add them to something like this. This doesn't feel right. It feels like you try to port the freaking, the super version of Mario Kart to this. Why is this okay? It shouldn't be. And to be honest, whoever is making this is ridiculous. Especially with the tracks. I can understand, like, okay, you're trying to make a generic karting game. Okay, understandable. But then we have to go to the handling of the characters. Everything is so sped up. The course itself, it doesn't feel like the way it's supposed to feel. You're supposed to be able to, like, move around the track, but every other movement you use is absolutely horrific. You cannot move as good as you want to. Like, if you're thinking like a racing kart game, you would think that the movements would be at least a small bit fluent. Like, you'll be able to move good, but on a 2D plane, it's like every corner you could go in and hit, you're gonna fall off the edge. Because you're moving so fast, and even if you go to drift like you're supposed to around these corners, you could be forced straight off the edge. Why? Because the character is too big for the track. Even though it doesn't make you look like it, it makes you feel it. And in your brain, you hyperventilate, and you start wondering, how the hell am I going to beat this? You're not going to. If you're trying to actually win this game, let me give you a very good tip. For God's sakes, do not let go of the acceleration button. There should be some sort of nuance to this. But there's not. And look at that. That should have hit him. Everything hits you, but you cannot barely hit the enemy. Like you're supposed to in a Mario Kart game. You should be able to. And every time you go across everything, you're gonna hit something, or something's gonna hit you. There is no in the middle. There's no middle lining. And that's the problem. Yeah, the game can be fun. You can get a little bit of fun out of this, and I'm not gonna say, no, there is no fun to be had in this. Because that would be wrong for me to say. You can have fun with this if you, like, get across the horrific controls and the horrendous feeling. Look at that. There is no place for mushrooms in a game where you're supposed to be able to use a mushroom. Personally, this is not good. If you asked me to play this and playtest this, I would say, you know, tighten the controls just a little bit. Make the characters a little more smaller and it would fit on the field so you won't be spinning off the course every 10 seconds, or you're not feeling like you're going to be drifting straight off the edge where you're normally doing. Personally, but the problem is that everything is too big for the course at hand. And the controls are not that fluent. The drifting is not good. You would think, like, in a game like this, you should be able to move relatively quick. You don't. If you're within 10 frames of anybody else, you could get hit and you could get screwed. And everything you use could be a hindrance. Like that. So, what's my verdict on Mario Kart Super Circuit? The game's not bad at all by any stretch of the imagination, but what I am gonna say is that it's horrendously fucking... what's the word for it? It's so horrendously zoomed out and so horrendously made graphics-wise that you don't know how to play around the battlefield. Either you're going to go super slow and end up in last every single time, or go super fast and risk the hype of going through the edges or off the map. If anyone wanted to save this game, shrink the character just a little bit, add a little more details of the map environment to make it feel like it's worth going around these edges. And personally, it would be a little bit of a better game if you tighten the controls just a little bit so that when you're going around the map, you feel like you actually have a shot at actually winning, instead of power sliding off the edge every 10 seconds because the controls are speeding you up when you're trying to go around edges like that. Either you don't use drift and, you know, fault everything you're doing and still go hit the edges and slowing you down, which you're not supposed to do in a kart game, then there's really no other way of winning. So, if I have to give this game a verdict, what would I give it? Personally, I would give this a 4 out of 10. Because it's playable. It is playable. But just for the graphics, the loosened controls, how the maps look, and how the game plays, it could be tightened, but it's not impossible. So, for me, this game gets a 4 out of 10, personally. But if you guys enjoy it, then by all means, enjoy. So anyway, ladies and gentlemen, thank you so much for enjoying this game review. Thank you so much for joining me on the regular days of the week of threes. Tomorrow will be our ending segments. So, of the week of threes. So, where we're going to be playing Overwatch. I don't know if I can get Fusion Fall to work because I haven't had Fusion Fall working. I have another game that I want to play, but it's most likely going to be either gaming questions or a top 10. I have no idea what I want to do. So personally, stay tuned. You're going to want to know. Anyway, thank you everyone so much for watching the video. If you guys like what you see, hope you hit that subscribe button, because if you haven't, I don't know why you haven't, because we do something like this every single day, so you do not want to miss out on a single fucking thing that we do. Anyway, on the left hand side of the screen, the last 20 seconds, there'll be the last ever time I ever played a Mario Kart game. Go check that out and have a little bit of fun. I believe that was Mario Kart Double Dash. Have a little bit of fun with that and see what we had in store for that. Also, on the right hand side of the screen, as I said, if you haven't subscribed yet, I don't know why you haven't, so I'm going to help you there. In the last 20 seconds, on the right hand side of the screen, there will be the subscribe button. Click that and join the Dragon Link today, because again, we do something like this every single day, so do not miss out on a single thing we do, because there's always something new coming up for the Dragon God of Gaming. Anyway, hope everyone enjoyed today, but good gaming, happy hunting, and I'll see all you Dragon Links back inside the world of game reviews. Hope you guys enjoyed, and I'll see you guys next time with some more D.Dragon action. Peace.